Hello, Nordista Freeze here, back from the holiday. Welcome to Fun Zone. It is great to be here with you. Hope everybody is enjoying the last few days of the year. I'm really excited for my next guest I'm going to be having on. They are an amazing band out of Chicago. Um, they had a DIY space. I'm going to ask them what's going on with that. They had a DIY space in Chicago that I've played before. I've played with their band all across the country. Let's welcome in my friends in Nite Laundry.
Hey, Freeze.
Yo.
Hey, hold on.
What's up?
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
I'm turning the volume up, and I'm also...
Should we plug it in? No?
Hold on. What the hell?
What's up? What's wrong?
Hold on, Freeze. We're coming.
We're good.
There we go.
We just have to go right there.
I feel like that's good.
Does that work?
That works.
Oh, does that work?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Dude, good to see y'all.
Nice
You
to
too,
see
man.
you.
Hi, everybody. Late night laundry in the fun zone. Welcome. You made it. Finally.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to have fun in the zone. It's been a time I needed.
It's been too long. Y'all must practice every Monday because every Monday seems to be when you're free. Is that late night laundry day?
It
It's
is.
laundry day.
Yeah.
It's laundry day.
The
Yeah,
only
Monday's
day we
laundry
have.
day.
Monday's laundry day.
I guess we should introduce the band for anyone who's watching and doesn't know. I guess we can start at my left. Y'all can say your names, I guess, if you want, but
Hit me.
That's you. That's you.
I'm Emily. I'm the bassist in Late Night Laundry.
I'm Brenden. I play keys.
Ari, play guitar.
I'm Alex. I play drums.
and that makes the whole band, right?
That's the whole
It's
band.
a whole band, whole shebang.
Oh, that's crazy. I guess Caitlin's not in the band anymore.
Caitlin's not in the band anymore.
She's not.
Caitlin lives in Nashville now.
Caitlin's in Nashville,
is,
Tennessee
right?
with Freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She
obviously.
lives at your house, I heard, actually.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, bro? No, I'm kidding.
I have not
It's
seen
not
Caitlin. Yeah, I need to I need to I don't know, distantly, safely find a way to see her. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. What's fresh, y'all? First off, congrats on Fantasy. It came out I think 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Thank you,
Thank
man.
Yay! It sounds great.
He's
Who's singing on the song?
Me, yeah.
Ari, dude, what's up? Are you
What's
gonna be
up?
are you gonna be taking more of the vocals now?
Definitely
the
for
singer?
as of right now. Yeah, for as of right now, yeah.
Are you- That's cool. You sound great. I love your voice.
Thank you, man. It means a lot.
Do
it
you
was
normally
fun.
sing on I know you're in a couple other bands, the Devons.
Oh, the Divines.
And Soul Vega.
That's my buddy's band, all the 50s soul stuff. But
Oh, cool.
no, this is the first I think thing I'm singing for. Well, so big a little bit, but not. Yeah, but
Ari won't talk about it, but he's got some solo stuff in the works that you'll hear his little voice on very soon.
Oh,
maybe
way.
who knows.
yeah,
That's true.
we're looking at that too. Now's been a good time to do that. But yeah, this is the first time they're really doing the do.
Yeah, right. Are you gonna sing on Twisted and all the songs from Through the Wash and stuff now? If y'all play live or do a live stream or something?
Well, we may or may not have some live streams
Yeah, I
planned
think
in
we
the
have something coming up soon.
you know the
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
near future.
Something
So-
you want to plug, or is it all in the works still?
Yeah, we keep kind of almost setting one up, and I think we're getting to the point now we're about to set some sort of streamy, livey,
We've got some stuff in the works for sure. Yeah. But
we keep recycling our old songs too. Like a lot of the songs we used to have with Caitlin keep resurfacing a little bit.
Mhm.
But we're also the type of group that we write so fast that we haven't really thought about old songs. We
Yeah.
just keep trying to move
we
forward.
literally
We
just wrote
just
one.
were a song.
right before we got on the phone.
We
with you.
just got into our rehearsal space. This is where we are right now. And
Wow.
we jammed before getting on the phone with you. And in that 3 or 4 minutes,
Yeah.
we made what's
Dope
gonna
track.
probably eventually be a song that we're all really happy with.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
Yeah. This happens every time we meet up, which is why we only do Mondays. 'Cause it'd be too much.
Mhm.
Well, wait. I mean, y'all must be sitting on a ton of music because this is only Fantasy was only y'all's second single of the year, right? Because y'all had
Yeah.
I Can't Wait, which was like right at the beginning of
I know.
quarantine. Well, I
Yeah.
guess it wasn't supposed to be. That was going to be the beginning of your run to South by, right?
Exactly.
That was our setup.
Oh, frick.
Let's not.
Frick frack. Frick frack.
So I guess that was the last time.
Frick frack land together.
Yeah, we were going to be playing down at South by together, right? And so that's when the single came out. I guess, yeah, because it came out March 13th, which was right. That was like that week is when everything.
That was the week. We released that and we were supposed to play a show at Cole's Bar, which is like a dive bar in Chicago, and then literally get in the car that night and start heading to Texas to see you and the Winona boys. We got that selfie from you guys that like makes my heart hurt now.
Yeah,
Well,
because I was on tour and we had one off day, and the one off day it was like Future Crib and Winona Forever playing in Nashville. So we just went to it because we had to, even though it was our one off day of like the whole tour. We're like in Nashville for a stop, and but yeah, and then we were all gonna catch up again, and then all of a sudden everything started getting freaky, and I know it's kind of like not cool. Like this doesn't sound as sexy on the other end, but we were like, I feel like some of the last bands standing. It was kind of like y'all were like, we're gonna keep going. We were all like, yeah, let's do. Like we were like,
And then it just progressively got
Worse.
so bad.
Up into those last hours, right after like our local show that we had planned, literally, on Saturday, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, probably time to call out
Yeah.
after that.
I remember even editing the poster that we had made for the
Yeah, we did.
for the tour, and I I put like a masking tape like sticker on the
Alex is
poster
dying.
saying we already
Mhm.
rented our Airbnb, so we're going.
oh, you already rented the Airbnb?
Oh
Yeah, we
yeah,
did,
we
yeah.
got a full refund.
We
It
ended
was
up
good.
taking our refund and like spending a weekend in Michigan and doing like a bunch of DIY recording, which we released like the tape on Bandcamp, and that was our first like DIY
What?
production.
I
Yeah,
didn't
This
know
man,
about this.
this man took all the
That pretty
reins on.
pretty much kickstarted this whole like new production scheme that we had, which starts with us and ends with us essentially.
Yeah, so no more all the hands, just our hands. Just
Really? So was the two songs I put out this year, both of those, were they recorded here in this loft?
Not
Fantasy was all our own production, and then we have a tape out on Bandcamp that was like all
I gotta
from like
find this.
Airbnb. Yeah, it's called Michigan Tapes.
That's
But, yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty much, we're really
Yeah.
happy with our process that we're more hands-on with it now, and pretty much our future singles that are in our sites right now seem to be all self-produced as well.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool. Right on. Yeah. Here it is. This is sick.
Yeah, and just like probably
And we're
everyone, we're broke.
Yeah, right. What's the situation with the place you're practicing right now? How does that work in a big city like that? Is it y'all all just have to like find a space together and chip in?
So
And
this is Superior Street. This is one of the rehearsal spaces in
Yeah.
Chicago. It's just a warehouse with a bunch of rooms. This is our, I want to say fourth or third,
This is our third
our
room.
third rehearsal
We
space
got some cool ones
that
too.
we've had since we became a band.
cool.
This one's definitely the coolest.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
and also the one where we've shredded with the least amount of other bands.
Yeah,
Which
which
is
is
good.
good for now.
Right.
But yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
come here whenever we can. So we've been working on recording a lot these past couple months ever since we like reformed. So this is like one of the first times we're coming back into the space, and like really our goal tonight is to literally just play and to just get comfortable with our old songs and our new songs. So that's what we're doing here. But most times, like if we can, when we are recording, we're like at our apartments, just tracking stuff there.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's just jam space.
Yeah.
So did the band like disband for a minute, or was it just COVID related, just keeping your distance and stuff?
It was never
5 seconds.
maybe for like 5 seconds.
It was 5
but,
seconds.
Yeah,
but,
that's 5 seconds.
but never disbanded. There was some time, right after everything during the summer where things a bit slower. But I feel
Yeah.
like whenever Fantasy, I guess, got started, which is random too, because I literally went up to Brendan's apartment, and then we suddenly spent like 8 hours working on this tune, and like
just like this whole back to like the whole DIY production thing, it's kind of changed how we divide up our time, because this time last year we were in total gigging mode where we had shows twice a week,
Right.
and now we're just in total production mode where it's like, well, we don't really need to practice for a set, so why not try writing and recording something?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Now we're going back into trying to incorporate practicing for, potential, live streams,
shows, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever multimedia thing that it is now.
Yeah, right. That's cool. That makes sense. Are y'all gonna do the Dream House? Are y'all on the Dream House one? Y'all
Dream
think-
House?
Isn't that what it's
Oh,
called?
Dreamhouse Chicago?
Yeah.
That place? No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think we are. We should be.
We I won't say anything about who we're working with on the live stream, but
Ooh.
not them.
That's
At
cool.
the moment.
Yeah.
We're also very much in the beginning phases of going on another trip like we did with the Michigan tapes. And we might be in your neck of the woods, Freeze. It's possible
Yeah.
No
that
way.
we might be coming to around where you preside soon.
To where you breathe.
Wow. Like Tennessee? North Georgia?
Possibly.
Possibly.
We're looking at it. Yeah, we're
Possibly.
looking at it.
Somewhere remote.
Very, very remote.
Somewhere remote.
A lot
As
of-
Ari would
possibly
say, somewhere with a hot
with a
tub.
hot
Yes, Ari.
Hey.
Is one request.
My only request.
That's cool. I can let me know if I can help. I know some hot tubs, but not too many remote places in Nashville, but there is a lot of beautiful land around here. That would be
Yeah.
really cool. So would y'all
We're
do it? Would it be another Bandcamp thing? Like another Bandcamp exclusive release?
Well, now, so
No.
for the last few months, we've done these like little merch sales that gave us a little boost economically and allowed us to buy some upgraded equipment, which can improve our recordings like drastically. So now we're a little more prepared than we were the last time we hit an Airbnb to record. And
Yeah,
we can get legitimate recordings now, legitimate multi-tracks, and there's no reason why these songs can't be like our top, quality.
Yeah, totally. Wait, hot tub and Airbnb. Future Crib recently just did a similar thing too.
Yeah.
Was there
Really?
communications with them?
No,
We
I
really
wish.
we love Future Crib.
I like kind of.
We do.
I just stalk them on social media.
Yeah, we
their
love them.
posts. That's literally.
Yeah,
that's-
dude, they're an amazing band. I miss seeing.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
they're
Oh my
awesome.
goodness, they're awesome, man.
We miss all of your guys' energy.
We miss the whole Nashville get down, man. We miss
Yeah.
everybody. Seriously.
Yeah, I miss y'all a lot too. I'm
We miss
curious.
the time vibes.
Yeah, right. I miss. I really miss the time we spent in Charleston together. So it's kind of the whole connection up and down. I was reading y'all's bio and I thought it was cool to see Charleston on your like Spotify bio listed as
Oh,
a city.
yeah.
It's like a cool memory. That was a really fun weekend. I'm hopeful. I think all of that stuff will come back sooner than later, but obviously we'll just gotta keep waiting. But yeah, right. Are y'all able to like keep doing all of the other projects you're in? Like I know I was doing a little bit of extra research, and obviously I know like drums is love. You like have a project then Brenden, you have like a bunch of projects you're in, right?
We
like
all have a bunch of
Do
projects.
Funk You, Chico and the Hobbs. I was like listening through some stuff
Yeah.
like Sol Vega, and then also in your bio it said you work with an artist named like Grace Kittner. Something. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we're all involved with Sol Vega. We've been like the backing band for singers like Grace Kinter.
Right.
Yeah, the three of us have been playing for a really long time.
Yeah.
When like Late Night Laundry started, it became like a really like focal point for all of us in terms of writing and putting all our energy into like the promoting and the marketing behind it. Versus our other bands, either we're like more role members in those bands, or it's just more like fun for us. Like it's not as serious.
Yeah,
This is more
right.
what we live and breathe here.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
This is the family.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
That's cool.
the cult experience. Exactly.
Catch me up. Y'all don't play. Obviously don't play shows here, but also, do any of y'all still live, or maybe it's just Emily at the Litter Box? Is that like long gone?
This
You never
this
lived there?
myth that existed since 3 years ago, I guess. I've never lived at the Litter Box.
That's
I've never been
hilarious.
affiliated with the Litter Box.
Wow,
I, like,
really?
I put on the first show with a friend of mine who's like our tour buddy, Liv.
Yeah, right.
We like set off kind of the Litter Box's like full form. 2 years ago when I graduated college, which is really crazy to say, but I never lived there. I never put on shows there. I was just getting really drunk at the bar the whole time that it was like, alive. So people just kind of assumed that I was doing something with it. Like I get that question. So like whenever they had shows, everyone was like, so you did this, right? And I was like, oh,
Did you do
no.
any of the posters for any of the
I did
shows?
a lot
You
of
guys
the
have done a ton of poster work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it too. And y'all played a bunch of shows there, I would assume, right? I mean, at least
Did,
remember
yeah.
a few.
all fucking smacking.
Yeah, we
They were
played a show
Very
with
fun
you.
parties,
Wait,
man.
no, we didn't play.
Yeah,
Did we play the
Yeah,
free
play with
show?
me and Future
I
Crib.
was climbing the roof.
The
did a
lightning
bunch of
struck.
crazy
The
stuff.
lightning struck, man. Lightning struck.
That was
was
an
crazy.
event.
He got on the roof and Zeus spoke.
Yeah.
The portrait of your mama with you. That was
You
beautiful.
were on crutches with a construction
Yeah.
cap on for the first like 2 hours of being at the venue.
You stole my soul. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. I do remember I was on one roof, and then I do remember like I had to use some magic powers, and then all of a sudden I was on the other roof. And I don't normally reveal that kind of thing, but I did it that night, and people were very upset. People were trying to burn me at the stake. I was like, no, it's good. It's good.
They don't understand
I mean,
the powers you possess.
Anyone who's seen a free show knows that this stuff happens, but like for anyone who hasn't, I remember being on the second story of the balcony at this litter box show, and Freeze was like in the pit, like singing, and all of a sudden he just like bolted from the stage and disappeared out of view for a second from where I was, and I was like sitting, and someone was on my lap. And all of a sudden, I just hear like clonking and then sparks flying. And then this man in a satin velvet purple robe is literally climbing up the support post of the deck, hoisting himself over, and then without like a second, sprinting through the house of the apartment. And within not even like a minute, as Future Crib supporting bands playing, he's on the roof of the garage behind the stage, pretending to almost fall off of it. Everyone's screaming. Everyone thinks that you are like completely like out of your wits, and then you like got off and continued the show like nothing had ever happened. Which is
It was epic. It was epic, man. It was like
I'm so glad you remember that.
yeah. No, how could you
it's
not?
burned into my brain.
Yeah, I mean, the whole night was incredibly special. You never know when you're on tour. Like, I never met any of y'all before that night. I knew allegedly. I mean, I met Caitlin, but she denies it. I have the picture. She says it's not her, but it's definitely her. Like, it's just her. I mean, it is. You can tell. But she's like, that's not me. That's not me. I'm like, okay, well, we met and we've been friends on Facebook since. But anyway, I never met y'all before. I never been there. And when you're on tour, it's like some nights, a lot of nights are great, but some nights just are magical, and you never know when it's going to happen. And that was definitely one of those nights, where you just remember it forever and super special. And it was good getting to meet y'all that night. And I feel like that was the most important thing, was meeting y'all. So it's been cool watching y'all on your journey, telling your story and doing your thing. I feel like y'all, you know this, but I really believe in y'all, and I'm excited to see where the project keeps going.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
It means a lot, man.
Totally. I was glad to see. I've been glad to see like the merch sales, and also with Fantasy coming out. It's really cool, and it's a new style. To me as a listener, it's a lot different. Not just the recording, but like, and having like Ari singing, but Ari, sorry, but it's like, it's also a little bit more down tempo. I was wondering if that was like an intentional decision. I feel like it's like a little bit more subdued, a little bit more emotional, at least to me. I was wondering if there's any message behind that or purpose.
Definitely a vibe check.
Yeah, vibe check.
Definitely a vibe check.
I think we're gonna keep people on their toes with like the singles that we have coming out.
Sure, yeah.
I think we're not gonna be we're gonna keep pushing that box to be bigger and bigger. What people
Cool.
And so
Definitely for Through the Wash too. Like, I mean, a lot of our first songs that have come out that we have up on streaming services, those songs were created through like a live experience, because we would only play those songs like either completely jamming out in a space or playing a show. So they took on a very like intense, energetic expression. And now the songs that we're writing are coming from a little bit of a more intimate experience where we're able to kind of absorb and slow it down a bit. But like Brenden said, it kind of just depends. It's all going to change every time.
And Through
Right.
the Wash, barely a band.
We didn't really
Well,
play
We were
together.
literally- it was crazy.
One
And we
thing
did it.
I'm definitely excited about, especially with all those songs. Those were like pretty much already written before like the band was assembled, and now like we're writing totally different. Especially like with Brenden and everything, and
through
just
the
making everything sound.
Through the Wash got recorded like not even a month after I joined the band. So
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I was more of like a studio session musician for that album, and now it's like we all write as a unit. Like the four of us really contribute to the overall song a lot more than what was happening in the past.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. And like you said, you're writing something right before this. So is the writing process always like a collaborative thing, or does somebody maybe bring an idea, whether it's like a musical or lyrical idea, and then the whole band like blooms from that? And is that one person specifically who brings those to the table?
Used to be.
Ari's always been like the core writer of the band, but he's really big into letting other people inspire him. So I think Ari also really likes when another person brings an idea to the table and then he can take it and like just run with it. And honestly, all four of us have been playing so long together now that we just know where things are supposed to go and like what direction we're all feeling it going in.
Yeah. And now everyone's solo music. It sounds
Right.
like so sometimes I'll write something like there's a couple tunes that I have that Ari's like we should play this with Late Night or like we should try it. And it's like, so now it's kind of all starting to
melt together.
But
Yeah, right.
they know that it's just like more of a collaborative process, and we're starting for like completely different vantage points. Just like starting off, and it's super refreshing. Just because like what Cabrera was saying, like whether he's starting with changes or a melody, or Emily's doing something, or even just something that Alex is playing, it's a lot more inspiring to be able to like write music that way. At least for me personally, and I know like you said, we've all been working a lot more on our song music, so it's nice being able to like restrain your stuff for that and seeing what happens in the moment live when we're jamming and creating something out of that moment.
Right.
Around.
That's cool. Do you feel like when touring begins or when live music becomes a thing that's like pretty constant in your life, like touring and stuff, do you like you were talking about like Brenden, I think you mentioned like creating music right now, you have a little bit more freedom to just create whatever you want to create. Like there's not as much of that expectation. I don't know. I've been writing a little bit more recently, and it's kind of sometimes more intimate, or it's less like inclined to be, it's not even more, well, sometimes it's more intimate, but also it's just like, let's say there's more production details.
More thought out.
That I know are going to be harder to replicate live, which is like part of the reason why I record live to tape, is because I want to make music that can be reproduced in a DIY context.
Sure.
I was wondering if y'all like ever think about that kind of thing, or like
All the time.
does the record like come first and then you're like, we'll find a way to do this live later,
This is like our biggest.
Yeah, it's our biggest thing. We do such a mix of everything.
We haven't really gone to we haven't had that issue up until this point yet. And I think we've been so focused on live music for the last 2 years of being in this band that it's cool to have this reverse problem where now we have a really dope sounding track. How do we replicate it live rather than having a really dope live track trying to replicate it in the studio like the other way around?
Also just accepting that it's good to have both versions of same tune, because it's going to have its own feel and fun. It's just nice to have.
I think we always get to the point where it's like these songs can have two separate souls, and that's okay. And then also in the writing process and when we're coming up with these songs, we've sat so many times, almost every time we meet up, and we're like, what is the intention of this song? Is it a live song? Like, do we record live? Do we track it? And we're still figuring that stuff out. We don't know, what the future is going to be, or like what is the right answer, because this is all a learning process for us. We're still a very new band, and this is the first time that we're having the opportunity to really just sit down with each other and take it all, like every step of it together, like have Brenden mix it and us record it and track it at home. So these questions come up all the time, and it's just ever changing.
Right. How long have y'all been a band? You know?
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
A little more than a year and a half now.
with all the members.
Wow, that is super short.
Yeah, I know. It's that's the
Discuss with
craziest
everybody.
thing is it's been like the fastest, like and craziest, just like
We just dropped
journey.
in.
We just went so hard. Honestly, I think we all needed a fucking break.
Yeah.
I fucking did.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
nuts. But it was awesome.
Last summer was just insane because
Yeah,
it was
nuts.
gig after gig.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah, you were there. Lots of them.
I felt like EGN was like I could kind of feel that. Like I felt that personally. I could kind of feel that with y'all. Like it was almost like being at the beach and stuff. It was almost like a break that hadn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
Even though we were like gonna play a gig that night, it was like nice. It was a nice weekend, you know.
It was such a nice week. It was a beautiful.
Wait, so
Sitting-
y'all formed as a band like right when I would have met y'all, because I met y'all we played together.
Yep.
I think that was like June or July of 2019.
Yeah.
That's
think
when our
yes.
first EP came out, and we formed. I joined the band in February of 2019, and we recorded like a month before that, or a month after that, and then pretty much started playing and touring that summer.
Wow.
Yeah, so it jumped really fast, and
Yeah.
I think like being able to slow down like this has only helped our like songwriting process. It helped us, our personal relationships with each other a lot.
100%.
Yeah,
Like, I really feel like I just like we were always close, but in a way where we were just like bandmates. But now like I feel like the four of us have just like gone to the next level of relationship where we like just work on talking to each other pretty much every week because we have nothing better to do. So.
Yeah.
That's important.
And back then, when you're having gigs all the time, you're meeting up for rehearsals, you're trying to get all this stuff like, crammed into these, small time frames that you almost feel it's just like it turns more into work, even though you're so enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh wow, I'm only talking to my bandmates like after the show we played, and we're like coming down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, let's go over to Alex's house and cook a meal.
We're like,
Yeah.
let's eat tres pasadas
Yeah.
outside on the sidewalk.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really have like when Late Night technically first came into fruition, we were with a different keys player. And it was originally me, Caitlin, Ari, and our friend Yorgos. And then we brought Alex in. And Alex, I remember coming in like the first day we rehearsed. He stormed in. He was like, "All right, let's do this. The songs, let's go 1, 2, 3." And he was just like, he took it literally as like, this is a gig for me. Like, this is just a job.
So
Drums is work.
To learn songs, and I'm out. And he would leave like right after. And like, what we get.
Yeah,
And-
it was a crazy time because it's just like thinking about that society when like, that's when I had like no job and it was all just gigs paid my bills, and it was just like, and thinking about now like the flip is just like, whoa, like, man, we took all that for granted. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We really did. It's nuts.
I know, man. It is nuts. It is.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's been up and down for me, at least. Like sometimes I'll get in a good rhythm and feel good, and then I'll go through another phase where I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what are my goals? And then like when I realize all my goals are so self-imposed, sometimes I just watch them crumble in front of me. It's like, oh, I gotta have this done by Monday. Then I'm like, why? And then I just lose it.
We've all been honestly going through that same thing. All of us as individual artists, and I think what's really cool about us for the last 8 months or whatever is like we've consistently had a game plan of like what's to come next week, next month, and like in the next year, and we're continuing to push that like production level from us, and I think that's gonna be really good.
It is.
It's self-discipline.
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
cool.
biggest thing when we broke up for 5 seconds, and I truly mean 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was never official, but it was a lot of pieces to pick up, and we didn't know how to start again and how that would look and what we were going to do, because we lost a very formidable piece of our work. Like we didn't know, like, how do we release music? How do we do anything like this? How do we even play together? The first time we got together in this space to rehearse again, it just felt like weird. It felt so weird. And then almost immediately after that, though, like you get that spark again. And since then we've kind of just been like on a wheelhouse. We've just been keeping ourselves on a timeline and being very like disciplined with each other and very communicative and very, very much like on a schedule to try and like make this feel like it's not such a self-imposed thing.
Yeah.
To make it feel like we need to do this because we
Right.
want to.
It's nice though, because I feel like with this restart button, everybody, like, we all have a new intention with the group, but we're also each putting in like different types of effort that we didn't necessarily do before.
Yeah,
So,
Ari emails now.
I yeah.
Wow.
And whether that's like, I mean, communication wise, I mean, like reaching out to people, of course, but production and just like, I don't know, it's like seeing everybody get excited over, different areas of the band that we used to not go over. Like, even when it's like, oh, let's all go over to Emily's and help her work on merch stuff, you know what I mean? And get organized and take photos of the, just stuff like that. It's,
I mean, it's no lie that like Caitlin used to do a ton for us,
It's
and
insane.
Caitlin's a hard worker.
yeah, no
she
doubt.
works very hard.
But after her leaving, we saw it as an opportunity to delegate all that work to make sure that we were getting the most out of every section of it. And
Right.
whether that's like the marketing or merch or, sending out emails, like whatever it was, like, I think just splitting up that work allowed us to like maximize it more rather than one person maximizing their self. And, because only one person can only do so much at the end of the day. And,
Totally.
and I think it makes all of us feel more involved in what's actually going on. And
Right.
We feel important.
yeah,
And that's like,
Yeah.
that's one of the pillars to why it's working, is just, we all need to feel like we have a piece of the pie. It's not just like playing music. It's not just our like musical skills. It's everything that you have to do right now in 2020 to be a band and be a DIY band, is to just like take on these tasks that you wouldn't think that you'd ever do for yourself.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
I like put Brenden to work like folding shirts up as I'm printing them, or like steaming shirts, and Ari like setting them up on hangers and like toss them over to Alex, or we drive around. We just try to do everything together as much as we can, because I mean, we want to. We love each other and we're a family and we love to do these things together. But it's also like feeling like we're all working towards the same goal in any aspect of a band.
Yeah. I know it meant a lot to me personally too, just, the band transforming, like we mentioned already before, but just like, for me, bringing all my old songs to us, writing all together, and this complete new vibe, and everybody being like, I don't know, just so enthusiastic about, doing their part. And it's,
That's really special.
it's been a lot of change for us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
totally.
In a really good way.
it's been like all positive change for the most part.
Did y'all ever plan on being a part of a artistic like band project? Is that something I've always been passionate about? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
For a lot of y'all doing like more like session work, or just playing in other people's projects, or maybe helping out like Brenden with more like the engineering side. Has it always been something that y'all have all felt like compelled to, or is this for a lot of y'all like the first artistic project you've been a part of, or like the hardest one?
I think this is the one, just to speak on behalf of everybody. I feel like this is because we've all been in a ton of projects.
Right.
Emily obviously is a graphic designer and gets involved in like everything. I think this is just one that feels really special to everybody in the group. And also everybody who watches us always tells us that they feel something special. And I think that means so much to us that it just fuels like this energy that we have, that we put towards this project, that, it's unmatched compared to any other part of our lives. I know it is for me, between, work and everything else in my life. Like, this still gets my main focus, like day in and day out.
That's cool. What do y'all do? Do y'all have jobs like in music, or do y'all work like odd jobs? Like, are you still working at Ginny? Are you still working at Ginny's?
Yeah.
You want to go around and say
Yeah. Freeze knows this. We talked about it. I still work at Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams.
Wow.
That is a freaking job.
Scoop?
It's fucking scoop.
I'm a manager at a fast food mom and pop burger shop, as you can see from my shirt. It says Red Hot Chicago on it.
That's sick. That's sick.
I work front desk at a hostel as of right now.
Cool. Nice.
And I just pick up random music gigs, and I work part-time at a nasty Vietnamese restaurant. And yeah,
Wow.
just kind of do as much like, and I do a lot of street performing in Chicago. I busk a lot, which is
No
weird
way.
during the pandemic. But honestly, it really pays the bills, like straight up.
That's
So,
cool. I have a friend who pays his rent in New York off busking, and I just thought that was the most crazy thing.
That's
you can
fucking
really
crazy.
make $100 an hour, if you've got it down, if you know somebody who like knows the city,
Yeah, you
Definitely
know the spot.
more than the rest of us was solely on like play,
Music income.
struggle path.
well,
Yeah.
playing music all the time,
Yeah.
Gig to gig, playing for money.
Having an income
So,
from music. having
yeah,
a steady income.
regularly.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, and then it's kind of beautiful because it was like when we were so heavy in late night gig time, it was like I don't even know how we all did it because
Right.
we
It was a lot. It was really hard.
We were going state to state at points.
Right.
And that was a big sacrifice for Alex because like we don't, as individuals, we don't profit from the band. We save up all of our money and
Goes
spend
back
it
into it.
for the band to like
Yeah.
continue to do stuff. So like we knew, I mean, like I just explained how Alex came into this band and then we
Yeah.
had to be like, and we're not gonna pay you.
Yeah. And
And
you're
he
not.
stuck around.
Yeah.
And we like took away from his time to make money to do that. So
Yeah. But jobbing and all that, it's great, but it just
doesn't do
it
it.
just doesn't feed your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that- gotta feed
totally.
your-
Yeah, it I mean, and everybody's got their own like thing to figure out, like with like my whole crew, like we all work different levels of like, desk job to like side
Yep.
gigs to just like, I live with my family to avoid paying rent, like whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own relationship with like how to sustain yourself or like live a life that feels like healthy enough, but is also like healthy in a sense where you're putting all of your passion into this art, but also healthy enough to where you're like are making enough money to like, eat well or, have a good
Yeah.
place to sleep. Like it's all really important and hard to balance. But what y'all do as a band is incredibly rare. I mean, especially here in Nashville, it's way more common for someone to do like what I'm doing, being like an artist who, although I have friends and we tour like a band, and on tour we might look the same as how y'all look, but back in Nashville at home, it's a lot different, it's more independent, it's more like just it's just me doing a lot of that work and then bringing on people when I need for like a gig or for recording. And there's a lot of benefits to that. I can make any decision I want at any moment and, and I get the final say in everything, which is great for me and for the way I like to like create.
And
but
you can jump off any roof you want.
I can jump off any roof I want, but but there's a lot to be said about being a unit and having, your own tight community and in ways I have that, but in other ways I just think it's very beautiful to see when people can really stick it out, especially artistically, like because you care so much about the art and being able to like collaborate with people and just keep showing up every day to like believe in a project with other people. That's tough stuff, and it's really cool that y'all do that.
Yeah.
A lot of emotional, spiritual work, honestly, with
Right.
being a band like that.
I think it's beautiful both ways though. The
Beautiful.
stuff that you do is so the way that you're able to translate your passion and the intent of all the songs with any group
Right.
of your friends and
True.
they're there for you and like they follow you to the ends of the earth to do that is something itself so beautiful because like you said, it doesn't
right.
feel like every time I've seen you perform, I've seen you backed with all of our
Totally
different friends, like
positions.
yeah.
like every
Different
single time, and it
styles,
just
totally
feels
different.
styles,
it
yeah.
still like lights me up and like makes me slam my hands down on any surface in front of me. So it's like it's crazy. It's impressive how you're able to do that, and I think there's a beauty in that just as much as there's a beauty in us being able to like sacrifice individual incomes to like
Sure, yeah.
do this together. It's helped in the pandemic for sure because like I know we've seen a lot of Chicago artists and just like artists and bands around who are struggling because like they've gigged and paid musicians through gigging and other like live aspects and now are unable to. So it's like it's definitely tough. And I feel grateful that that's one hurdle that we don't have to really jump over. And that we're able to like create merch or other content to like fund whatever we're continuing to do, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that's true. I maybe a better perspective would be that the community that I have as an artist is like a wider net, because there is more of like a big, it's almost like there's different strings, like a team. It's like second string guitar. I don't know. It's like there's like a whole roster. I don't know how you'd put like a lineup. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people that are involved, and that way it's very special in like a wider sense. But having a smaller unit who are a part of every process, I'd say is like something really special. And like what you're talking about, like especially now that once Caitlin stepped back and there's a lot of responsibilities and work that she put in that you're now like delegating and trying to put even more work into, that's the advantage of being in a band. And like, that's what is so special. And like trusting other people with those responsibilities, or trusting each other, is like, I think really hard, at least hard for me. So,
For sure.
It's really,
and it has a good payoff too, though. I mean, that's everything.
I think it's a huge payoff.
Yeah, it's a huge payoff. It can go really bad, and things can
could go
happen.
really
A lot of
bad.
miscommunication.
Things have gone bad,
Yeah.
but
It's
like,
gone bad.
honestly, everything that has quote unquote like gone bad has just been
Turns, so-
another learning experience for us, because all four of us are inexperienced band managers, and
Yes.
we're all being our own managers right now. So
Yeah.
I think we'll only be better at it, and we're gonna care more than anybody we would ever like hire would, So
And that
Right.
being said, we have here in Chicago, like it's not like Nashville where everyone is like, on the network on the same page, but we have this beautiful family here that continues to grow even in the pandemic, that we've been able to reach out to and help us in, specifically the single with Fantasy. We've just had so many people on board helping us, whether it be with the designs and getting those like produced and printed, to promoting. And
Wow.
we just feel so thankful that like, despite how many changes we've gone to this year, we still have that network of people that, believe in us and want to help. And without them, this wouldn't be possible. Like, even with as much work as we've put in, like the work that truly just good natured, beautiful
Yeah.
individuals have like put
Absolutely.
to us and trusted us, invaluable, like beyond.
Yeah.
And that's you.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah,
you.
you're obviously one of the biggest ones.
You've taken us across state lines with your help.
That's
Straight
cool.
up.
Really. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, you.
I'm always happy to help y'all. I really believe in y'all. Y'all are an amazing
look.
unit. So,
Yeah.
do y'all have, when you think about like the rest of, whatever this moment is, this pandemic, on to like whatever 2021 holds, do y'all think pretty far ahead, or do you feel like it's more just like, let's just take it single by single, or like moment by moment, like here's our plan for the next like month or something?
I'd like to say
What do you think?
we're getting in the flow of definitely just
Yeah.
any structure of how things are going in terms of
Yeah.
just recording and everything. When live music becomes a thing again, we'll have to reprioritize how we do things again.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely gonna have to be like what we were talking about earlier, with all this free time we have now to focus on our production and songwriting. When we start losing that free time and we have to start putting some of that time towards practicing and for shows, we're gonna have to really try to find a balance of trying to do production on our own while maintaining a good live show, and
Right.
what made us good to begin with, so
Yeah.
I think our plan for now is to take it step by step. Obviously, if shows start happening in 2021, you bet your ass you're gonna find us at one of them.
Yeah, definitely plan.
Yeah.
Straight up.
in terms
Yeah,
of
right.
like releasing things and thinking things of the scope of like album singles and all that, we're just accumulating
A
all
massive track.
what is new Late Nite Laundry, and when things accumulate and they have a shape, then
We'll put them out together.
we'll make sure that
Yeah.
shape.
But
is seen.
yes, single by single, we're
Definitely
gonna be
lots
like,
of
Yes.
definitely keep dropping singles, definitely keep like further fortifying this new process that we're discovering. And then when live music comes back, that's just going to be another learning process, because we have not done that as the I'm going to say quadricep, the
Yes,
the
quartet.
That's going to be neat too, because like, I mean, Caitlin booked all of our, like Caitlin was the show booker. She was the talent buyer for us. She did it for you and Future Crib and Went In It Forever.
Really, in a year and a half, you know, it's kind of a wild, beautiful thing. You know, it's like she really was able to just be like,
She
right.
did the world and said, "You're gonna have my band play at your venue."
Yeah, exactly.
So that's gonna be new for us too. Like, you know, sorry.
Sorry.
That's going to be a new frontier for us too, like how to organize that and how to like make us all feel invested in that as well, because that's such a difficult thing to like delegate.
Right.
And to go about. It's just going to be like a whole new frontier for late night. But I'm excited, and I think we can all say we miss playing music so badly in front of people, and like sweating in front of people, and kissing in front of people.
Lugging our gear.
And miss the schlep. Miss like angry sound guys.
We all have weak arms from not carrying our amps.
Everywhere.
Yeah, right.
I miss being a pack mule.
Do y'all when y'all are thinking about, like, I don't know, y'all have all been, like you mentioned, y'all have all been in a lot of projects, y'all been in the game for a minute. I mean, do y'all think about when you think about like being a DIY band, as I think Emily referred to y'all as, doing everything independently, is that something that you feel like is a choice you're going to like want to continue to make, or is it more like DIY being the mindset of like, we're going to run full steam ahead, you know, if somebody wants to help us, we'll have that conversation, but like we're going to do it either way? Or is it something where you are like hoping to grow like a label and like grow everything independently? And like, I don't know, have y'all ever thought about the difference between those two things?
For like, I've always envisioned, like, since all of us are very good at what we do, Emily with the merch and the graphic design, Ari with the songwriting, Alex is the beat master, I do the engineering and all that. I just think there is like that potential of us to do it all. Yeah. Whether I don't think we've ever really talked about ever starting a label, but
the opportunity came to joining with some, you know, fellow Chicago collective of some Chicago people.
Pretty much. We know,
whatever nationwide, you know, we would think about it.
We know we're self-sustainable and we can do this on our own. But it's like you said, if there's people out there have been people out there willing to help us and who have helped us along the way. And we're more than welcome for that.
Of course.
But like I said, we know our value and we know how much we can do on our own. So there's really there's no like rush for us to try to get signed by a label or anything like that.
One other big thing I know for all of us too, which is why I love working with all you guys so much, is just like integrity of the music. Like after previous bands I've, you know, been through. I just feel like everybody just respects that just as much, and that whoever we work with needs to like share that sentiment.
Right.
So
Totally.
And I must say, this is new for me too, because like these guys have been in a lot and have done a lot for years. I'm like a baby. This is my first like band, like real band. I was in one before with Ari, but that kind of just metamorphosized into late night. So this is like, I don't know, I feel like the luckiest little gal in the world, because I got the hottest ticket of like, I joined a band of people that like care this much and are this talented and this driven. So I haven't even had to experience the rough and tumble that these guys have gone through with other groups.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my gig side is definitely the design stuff and like, you know, all of that. In terms of music, like I've pretty much stuck here. This has like been my project and like what I work on. I didn't think I was going to be a musician until I met Ari and all these people. And even when I met Ari the first time, I was like, I like almost peed my pants. I was so scared. Ari used to busk on the street outside of college, and he invited me with him one day, and I brought my little bass with me, and I got so nervous and clammy and like shaky. We played for like an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And they tried hitting me up again to play, and I was like, I don't think this is for me.
No
and then
way.
it did 2 years later for us to like.
It was funny though, because I mean, I remember hitting you up, I think, is at a Halloween party, and I remember playing from that time, and I was like, oh yeah, Emily plays bass. I remember her saying that she like played jazz shit in high school. I'm like, hit her up, and then like I remember. I'm just gonna say hi. I met all of you. I'm just gonna go into it.
Go
Do
into
it,
it.
do it, man.
You want to hear it, Freeze?
If you want to hear it, he wants to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear it?
Yes,
gold.
Please.
So, yeah, Emily and I met in college, very briefly, and then like later we reconnected with Alex. You know, So Far Sounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God, yes.
I was actually playing a show with Grace Kincher, who you mentioned earlier.
Cool.
This was like 3 or 4 years ago.
It was like 4 years ago.
4 years ago, and
Yeah.
Alex was playing with the
Dash Tone.
Tone, and then I remember afterwards just getting his information, and then later that summer he was having just a session at his house, invited a bunch of like musician friends and cooked for everybody.
Yeah,
and
I do the big
and who happened to be there?
What a homie.
But Cabrera.
Cabrera was there
Eddie
because I invited
Cabrera.
him.
And then now they're gonna say how they met because they've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
So
So
Alec, I was playing in a band with this kid, Mikey, for a long time. And Mikey was like, hey, there's this
Mikey.
other band that needs a keys player.
Mikey,
and it was
Deutsch, we love
Alex's
you.
band.
This is Chicago.
So originally I got offered to be in Alex's band long time ago.
Really
and
long time
I
ago.
passed it up because I was
6 years
scared.
ago.
And then I got
Wow.
Alex like 2 years ago saying, hey, we need a keyboard player. And it was for Sol Vega. And I was waiting for that call for a long time. So I was there in like a minute, and I'm from the suburbs, so I really commute out to the city every time we practice and stuff. But slowly, I developed a relationship with these two guys. They brought me into late night with Emily and Caitlin. And honestly, just like there wasn't even any time. It just took off from there. So
crazy.
I feel extremely lucky, just like Emily. I got brought into the situation with Alex. But just like I'm sure how Emily feels, like we grabbed it by its pants and really just pulled it in. Like we made it our own. And so back to like what Emily was saying, I think musically, Emily offers a perspective that obviously the three of us have been playing for a very long time together and kind of think in a similar realm, while Emily has a totally fresh perspective, listening to different music, having a different background in like education when it comes to music.
Totally.
And I don't think the three of us have ever looked down at her in any sort of way musically when it came
She always
to
plays the perfect thing.
Right.
Never too much.
I feel like out of all of us, you have the most music education.
Absolutely.
more
You do.
well-rounded. I play like different
You are similar
instruments,
with
and
music.
I've always done different things, mixing. So I'm a nerd.
He plays jazz.
But that being said, Ari was in like jazz guitar studies. Alex has trained with like world percussionists and so many different styles. And
I played jazz band in high school.
What must I say? Because it hasn't been said yet how grateful we are for Emily.
Yes.
Like, not only for what Cabrera already mentioned, but all the work that she puts in a day, like for all the merch and her wonderful graphic design. I can't tell you how many, probably thousands of dollars we've saved for her making it all.
And just creating the world of late night.
And just creating the vibe. So we really appreciate her.
I met Alex because he hit on me at a party.
What? Yeah, that's
What?
I mean, kind of did.
Kind of.
Which one?
Grace Kincher's house, actually, surprisingly.
Whoa.
Yeah, because of Grace.
I was there.
Literally, Grace. We love you, Grace.
I don't think we like met like I've known
No,
of
that's one of
Alex
the first
before
times I
there.
Drums
like,
is love. Wow.
Drums is love.
and I turned him down, and then we started playing music together.
drums isn't love.
Ouch.
It was a kind exchange. It was very sweet, and I said no, and then we like started playing music together. And I met Brenden when he got injected into our band, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I was a bitch. I was the biggest.
She didn't like me.
Stickler. I didn't. I was like, why do we need a piano player in this band? And like, I literally put Brenden through the ringer for like maybe 5 months of just like giving him the hardest time in the world.
And now she's in love with me.
And now I love him. He brings tears to my eyes. I
But yeah,
I-
it's kind of like the Who, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like,
just projected Fleetwood Mac.
just like, yeah, it's like
I love that perspective.
Yeah, that was rough. Like we talked, like anyone who knows me personally knows I can get very, like, I'm from New Jersey. I can get very rough and very
like that.
yeah. If I don't like someone off the get, I'm not a nice person to be around. So, but Brenden is such a beautiful soul and like such a talented human being and so kind and so patient. Like I've never met someone who is so patient and trusting. And he took.
You sound like you're saying your vows.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah,
I guess this is how to pronounce it. No, Brendan's in a very loving relationship with our friend Clara.
He's gonna get killed.
I'm not dating anyone in this band. But I do love all of them and I have kissed most of them.
I love it.
But yeah, like eventually,
The
I mean,
dirty, dirty laundry.
yeah, everyone gets to see that.
Ropa sucia.
Late night lingerie.
Whoa!
Not
Things are getting wild.
I
No,
do
there's no
think
lunch
that another thing that makes it special though, like just as an example of her hating me at the beginning, we've gone through a lot of hardship as a band and like had like really hard talks that I think most bands wait years to have, and I think that's only made us like just that much better and stronger. Like
100%.
taking a 2-year band like this and making it feel like we've been together for like 5 years.
Yeah, right. You know, it's like when you were talking about like potentially disbanding earlier this year and stuff, like a good story, like a good band has all of that. Like it always does. There's no band that doesn't have tribulations or grow and change. And a lot of bands, I think, especially nowadays in our generation specifically, like in the internet age, it's easier to abandon a project. It's because it's easier to make music on your own and collaborate in more independent ways. But you never think about like how important the story is. And when you're able to take a project and transform it, and having like losing a member or like having those kind of conversations and like changing your style and stuff, that's the kind of thing that like somebody like me, like an outsider, sees and loves, like, just loves the story and loves the redemption and like loves keeping up with it no matter where it goes. So easily when you are the band or when you are the people dealing with it, you can feel tempted to just throw in the towel. But when you can, if it's like healthy to and possible, obviously it's so important, and it makes for situations like this, like it's a testament that if you can stick it out and like have conversations with people and, just keep moving forward as a unit, like you never know where that's going to go. And it's really special,
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
man. That's
Thank
very
you very much.
inspiring.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Band
course.
therapy.
We're
Yeah,
just as
band
inspired
therapy.
by like everybody else who listens to us and honestly gives us feedback.
Yeah, and our fucking fans are fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Everybody.
All our homies who are going at it their own way with the
Yeah.
exact same thing. I just have to remember this when at fucking oh
What?
at
EGN?
Everybody got nipples too. When you were out on stage with your boots clumping around,
Clumping.
clumping, all of us in a sweat. I remember looking over. Kayla was right next to me at the time, and we were just, man. I just got to say, you as a musical director too, and creating a vibe. Yeah, when I get a chance to be around you and that again, it's gonna
feel.
it's
so
gonna be.
good.
You see, I'm having word diarrhea because it can't all come out.
You
But-
lit our fire. Like
Yeah.
every time I've seen you perform and every time we've seen you perform, it's like, I mean, coming on stage after you or even before, like what's coming. Like know the kind of performance you have to deliver and like the vibe you have to get into because Nordista Freeze is gonna be on stage.
That just made me totally have a thing because it's also like we're kind of doing this like I hate labels, I hate boxes, I hate genres, but like whatever, we're doing this kind of like more Chicago influenced jazz fusion, but meets in this like indie rock thing, which is how we're playing with y'all, and then it's like, but like your performance is so intense, and we also play so dynamically, so it's like kind of this weird thing that kind of changed our sound almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like pushing this like I don't know, this like energy and performance out of this like
midway through 2019, I feel I definitely felt like our live music went from being super dynamic to being like dynamic with a really powerful like energy behind it. And I feel like a lot of that was inspired definitely by your shows, because I still think you're one of the craziest performers I've ever seen.
Like, after seeing you and like, you know, all those cats from Future Crib.
Oh my God.
Like, y'all know how to have an arc to a show. And
Crybaby and Daddy's Beamer and
everybody.
And Apricot Blush like always blows me away when they perform.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what I appreciate about Late Night is that we are a Chicago band where we live here, we play here, but we have so much influence from the South because of the tours we've been on and because of like Caitlin welcoming you guys into Chicago and having us watch you guys perform. It's definitely shaped how we play live, and it's shaped how we interact with fans and how we interact with one another on stage, because you understand this. It's such a beautiful experience when you get to see people perform on stage and you know they love what they're doing and that they love being there together and that they love being there with the audience. And there's nothing that beats that feeling. And for the audience and for the musicians on stage. And it's like a drug that we're always chasing, is to just like be in that moment and to like really feel like, I think we all get this. Like I black out on stage, like fully, like no drugs, no alcohol. I get
Adrenaline
so intensely like into it.
That's how everybody's gonna nipple for sure.
Yes.
Like, that show was for sure.
That was definitely, I mean, that was the most high energy show I think that we've played on tour by far.
I think that we did, yeah.
Y'all said a Freeze Fest had people going pretty crazy too. I remember looking out, I was like running around. I remember looking, the whole crowd was just like jumping so high.
That was such a good show too. That was a
crazy.
good one too, man. And that was cool because me and Cabrera got to sit right next to each other. And we just like, we went in.
That's one cool thing about the DIY scene. You never can really plan on how you're going to set up on stage because you don't know stage is if it's a living room or
a garage.
But yeah, it pushes you to like just think in different perspectives, and you eventually get sound that's different than what you normally would do. So
that is true. That is definitely an advantage. Yeah, sometimes like a really you love the big, sexy, tall stage and feel like a rock star, and you have a monitor. It's pretty dope. But then sometimes you play in a little corner and you're like literally sweating on each other, and you're just like, the energy sometimes is just unbeatable when you're like forced into this small
I love playing close. That's why I love Winona. Those guys, those boys play so close together.
That's right. That's right.
Full stage and they're like in each other's business.
In that semicircle. It's really smart.
That was the craziest. Meeting Winona Forever was like such a weird serendipitous night.
That was actually that was wild.
I remember I don't remember what time of the year it was, but it had to be like almost a year and a half or 2 years ago. No, like a year.
It was funny because I was listening to them before any of y'all, and then I showed you and
Ari's a hipster.
you and Caitlin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to say it. I was like, no, they're playing that empty bottle. You gotta go.
If I make a playlist and I show Ari it, he's like, oh, I showed you this song. I showed you this song. Oh, all right. Well, anyway,
you gotta take the credit.
And Caitlin and I were like living together at the time, and she was like, well, let's go see this band at Empty Bottle. There was like, literally showed up, no one was there, empty venue, like we got stamped, we just like wandered around, and then there were these like 4 Canadians at the bar that just showed up, and and we started talking to them like they're just here, and I like got them all around with Malort shots because that's what you have to do when you're in Chicago. And it ended up being Winona Forever. We watched them play, and like Alex as a drummer, not this Alex,
other Alex,
but also him, but like Alex in that band absolutely sent me rocking out of the whole venue. Like he is such a phenomenal drummer. And then at the end of the night, we're sitting having drinks at the bar again, and Caitlin and I were like, well, where are you guys staying in Chicago? And they were like, oh, we're gonna sleep in the van. And we were like, oh no, you're not. It was like 20 degrees. And we were like, winter. No, you're fucking not. So they stayed at our house that night, and that's how we met them. And that's how we got on with them.
Unreal. That's crazy.
I can't wait for more nights like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Truly, I hope I don't. I hope I haven't made you too nostalgic for touring again. You're like, it gets me excited talking about it, so
I know. It's like we're going tomorrow.
Yeah. hang in there. And I've officially taken up a full hour of y'all's time, so I know y'all got a jam too. So we can wrap this thing up, but it's I could talk to y'all for a lot longer, but it's been really awesome hanging with y'all for a sec. I miss y'all a lot, and I hope we can cross paths as soon as possible.
Yeah, man. I know. Hopefully soon we can all get together and make some music, man. Seriously, that's really what we should do. We should play.
Maybe we'll be in Tennessee soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, if you're around, hit me up. I'll swing by and say,
Yes.
hey, I'd love to. So I'll make a drive too.
Definitely drive by.
Yeah, maybe we can make it happen.
We'll let you know when the jacuzzi's locked.
Yeah, the koozies are locked.
Well, that heart-shaped
Yeah.
hot tub is in
The heart-shaped hot tub.
We'll talk after. I'll text y'all. Maybe I can show you where a hot tub is. Yeah, man. Until later, I guess. For anyone who's made it this far, thanks for listening. And I do want to plug Fantasy one more time. Y'all single that came out a couple weeks ago. And I guess if anybody wants to get involved, obviously Instagram's a good place to start. And following on Spotify and Late Night NITE Laundry _ on Instagram, I do
Yes.
believe.
Correct.
And I guess I'm just gonna put all of y'all's Instagrams in the bio and stuff too, because there's obviously Swollen Art as well. Everybody should check out, and all of y'all's projects too. So there's a ton to plug. So I'll put it all in the bio.
Oh yeah,
Thank you,
Breezy.
man.
It's been a pleasure talking
It's
with
been
you.
so fun.
Of course, man. And
Such a good host.
Yeah,
You're great at
You're
this.
great at this, man.
I appreciate you saying that. Well, I had a ton of questions for y'all, so I think about y'all a lot, so I was ready.
prepared.
Have fun
Crazy, you are the light
jamming.
of my life. I love you madly, and I can't wait to hug you again and see you.
Yeah,
and
man.
play with you.
I love you too, for
Yeah.
real. Thank you for all of the amazing artwork you've done for me as well. I should mention, just about anything that has my name on it in the last year has been made by you. So thank you.
It's true.
I enjoy doing it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, homie.
Have a good night.
Mad love, man.
Bye.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Ciao.